And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, subscribe, watch, comment, want your comments, which many of you have been doing, and I appreciate that, and share with your friends because there's so much going on, including last night. First time ever in history that the president had an interview and had somebody along with him for that interview. Especially somebody who's not even the vice president of the United States. And of course, who did the interview? None other than Sean Hannity. Interviews Trump and Elon Musk. And of course, it raised a lot of red flags. Now, I want to start with a clip of Hannity calling out Elon for his wealth and Trump saying that he tried to find somebody smarter than Elon. It's not about the money. Play the clip.
Yes, and we learned a lot with the Twitter files. And that just then raises a question. You're the richest man in the world. You may not like that part. You're pretty competitive.
Neither here nor there.
I've known you a long time. But,
that's why
but he's on your team. Well, that's true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this.
Well, thanks for having me.
So,
I'm just trying to be useful.
This is the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and
Yeah, like I said, this makes no sense. It's not about his wealth, right? And I'm not going to say he's not a smart guy. He is. But that's what also makes him more dangerous to the country. But then Trump spoke about the 19-year-olds. Imagine this. You got kids that are literally just finished high school that are now capable of accessing all sorts of information, including our Social Security information. That's a danger. Play the clip.
What he does is he takes it, and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
they dress in just T-shirts. You wouldn't know they have 180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So he's your tech support.
No, he is.
I actually
but he's much more
support.
than that. Yeah.
I actually am tech support, though. But
he gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done. You know, I said in real estate, you had guys that would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering, it would be great, and you say, great, when are you starting? But they were never able to get it built. They couldn't get the financing, they couldn't get the approvals, it would never get done. And then you have other guys that are able to get it done. You know, they could just get it done. I was in real estate, same thing in this. He gets it done. So when he...
I'm not so sure what he's talking about there. First of all, there are many people who can do renderings, including kids who are still in college. This is not the issue here. The issue that is of concern is that you have kids who are 19 years old. They lack the sophistication in order to be working in government. They haven't grown up enough within which to understand that there's organization. This isn't about being a techie. You want to be a techie, go work for Tesla, go work for SpaceX, go work for AI. It makes no difference, but we're giving 19-year-olds access to all of our information. And the danger doesn't even come from them having it. It comes from who wants it and how they will use manipulation from these 19-year-olds in order to get it. Now, of course, this issue of, what Elon is supposed to do because he himself is a big government contractor. So he says that he would recuse himself if there's a conflict of interest. Play that clip.
Who knows? Because he figures he does think differently. He thinks he has a better product.
Yeah.
And as long as he has a level playing field, he doesn't care what you do, which is he's told me that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't asked the president for anything ever.
And if it comes up, how will you handle it?
Well,
he won't be involved.
Yeah, I'll recuse myself if it is.
If there's a conflict, he won't be involved.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want that, and he won't want it.
Right, and obviously I'm getting a sort of a daily proctology exam here. It's not like I'll be getting away from something in the dead of night.
Welcome to D.C. If you want a friend, get a dog.
Well, I do have a dog, but I also have friends.
Yeah.
My dog loves me. Poor little creature.
You know the truth with this
I need to
guy?
bring him to DC.
He's
Oh, Elon, right? Oh, Sean Hannity. If you want a friend in DC, get a dog. Sure, that's not what they're talking about. And by the way, Elon Musk has made, since Trump became president, over $250 billion. They just signed a contract with the United States government for Tesla vehicles for $400 million. You think maybe that's in response to people turning around saying we've had enough of him, and so we're going to abandon the Tesla vehicle and buy some other EV? You think maybe that's what it was? Anyway, he ain't recusing himself from shit. Now, Elon also spoke about the will of the president. This was crazy. This is crazy talk, saying that that Trump should get all the power that he wants, that the president of the United States is entitled to all the power of government. Play the clip.
Okay. Why are they reacting like this?
Well, first of all, do you give it flying rip? Oh, number one, and
Well, I guess we must be over the target or doing something right. You know, if like they wouldn't be complaining so much if we weren't doing something useful. I think. But what all we're really trying to do here is restore the will of the people through the president. And what we're finding is that there's an unelected bureaucracy. Speaking of unelected, there's a vast federal bureaucracy that is implacably opposed to the president and the cabinet. And you look at, say, DC voting, it's 92% Kamala. Okay, so we're 92% Kamala. That's a lot.
they don't like me here either.
I think about that number a lot. I'm
Yeah.
like 92%. That's basically almost everyone.
Yeah.
And so, but how can you, if the will of the president is not implemented, and the president is representative of the people, that means the will of the people is not being implemented. And that means we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. And so I think what we're seeing here is the thrashing of the bureaucracy as we try to restore democracy and the will of the people. Is this making sense? I mean,
no, of course it does. I mean, to me,
No, Sean, it doesn't. Be a man and stand up, because time the fuck out here for a second. All right. The will of the president does not become the will of the people. All right. So here, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. Our country was established on a tripartite system of government, meaning a checks and balances between three co-equal branches of government. Co-equal branches of government, the legislative branch, the judiciary, and the executive branch. What Elon Musk is saying is that, yeah, government is a bureaucracy. And do I think this bureaucracy has issues? Of course it does. But to turn around and to say that the bureaucracy should no longer exist, the tripartite system of government should no longer exist, and the will of the president should be the will of the people, that's not what democracy is about. That's not the basis of the foundation of our democratic republic. So when he says, do you understand what I'm saying? And Hannity turns around and says, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Spineless asshole. All right. Stand up, and I know Sean well. He knows the right answer, and he's not stupid. I assure you, he knew exactly what to say if he really had the guts to do it. Meanwhile, then they speak about things being unconstitutional. Amazing. Play the clip.
yes.
specifics. You say the same thing. It's not
Absolutely.
done yet. And what do you mean by that?
I mean, winning the election is really the opportunity to fix the system. It is not fixing the system itself. So it's an opportunity to fix the system and to restore the power of democracy. And people like. It's funny how often when these attacks occur, the thing that they're accusing the administration of is what they are guilty of. They're saying that things are being done unconstitutional, but what they are doing is unconstitutional. They are guilty of the crime of which they accuse us.
That's always the first thing they do.
Yeah.
He's in violation of the Constitution. They don't even know what they're talking. Well,
It's
they know.
absurd.
It's just a con job. It's a big.
Yeah. Finally, president speaks. Right? I mean, this is supposed to be an interview of the president of the United States. Way to go. I mean, Musk then goes on and explains what it takes to save taxpayer money. Play the clip.
ID, and I just
Sure.
want to mention a couple, but I'm going to scroll it. and-
I guess at a high level, I think it's what the president mentioned earlier, which is that in order to save taxpayer money, it comes down to two things: competence and caring. And when the president was shown the outrageous bill for the new Air Force One, and then negotiated it down, if the president had not applied competence and caring, the price would have been 50% higher. Literally 50% higher. The president cared, the president was competent, the price was not 50% higher as a result. And so when you add more competence and caring, you get a better deal for the American people.
But we could take.
Okay. If in fact that's true, which I believe it is, good for Trump. Good for him. Good for the American people. And then Hannity goes on to ask if anybody at Doge is getting paid. Play that clip.
Society, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. Nobody at Doge gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some are, okay.
Yeah,
they're helping.
But I think it's fair to say that the software engineers at Doge could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Yeah. I just want to again reiterate that Elon Musk has made over $250 billion since Trump became president. Remember that. And Trump then says that he wants to make education better. And by the way, I am 100% in line with Trump's position on making education better here in the United States. I believe teachers should be paid more money. And I believe that students that don't want to be in school, I don't give a shit what age they are, if they want to be disruptive, put them either into some trade school or get them out of there so other kids who want to learn can. But my question that I would have for Trump, and of course, Elon Musk, didn't he say that he wants to get rid of the Department of Education? Play that clip.
Associated.
The only thing I want to do from Washington, D.C. is make sure they're teaching English, reading, writing,
Math,
and
science.
arithmetic.
Science?
Okay, a little science.
Science might help.
You
Sure.
know.
Computers.
You're not going to have much of a problem with that, but that's it.
So you're
Either we're getting rid of the department. By the way, how about putting somebody in as Secretary of the Department of Education who's competent, who maybe has a background in education, not a background in, I don't know, creating some skits where another guy gets pile driven into his head by lifting him by his knees or flying off of a turnstile onto somebody's head? Seriously? And finally, I want to show you a compilation from Midas Touch showing what Trump actually said during the election about inflation and compare that to his stance now. Play the clip.
Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down and we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again.
Yeah.
And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
that was January.
Inflation
You were there
is
for a
back.
week.
No, think of it. Inflation's back. And they said, oh, Trump, inflation. I had nothing to do with it.
Okay, let me start by turning around and saying, if you noticed at the bottom, it talked about the dates. You're talking about February 18th of 2025. Does Trump not realize that he's in for a month, not 2.5 weeks? It's almost like he has to lie for the sake of lying to minimize the fact that, unlike what he said, that he's going to bring the price of groceries down in 24 hours. It's easy. It's easy. I can do it. 24 hours. He's going to have gasoline. Drill, baby, drill. And everything has gone up. Gasoline up 6%. You have food prices soaring. You have now, of course, the bird flu, which has now taken out eggs, since eggs are a big topic of conversation. Everything has gone up. Listen, again, just because somebody makes you a promise doesn't mean that they ever intend to keep it. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.